All right, let's welcome our dignitaries on the dais with a big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, all the invitees present over here, Honorable CM of Odisha, Shri mohanmajhi, sir.
Honorable Minister, External Affairs, Government of India, Dr. S. Jaishankar with us. We also have the presence of Honorable Minister,
Industry Department, Shri Sampath Swai, Chief Secretary, Government of Odisha, Shri Manoj Ahuja, Principal Secretary, Industries, MSME, Government of Odisha, Shri Hemant Sharma, MD Epicol, Shri Bhupinder Singh Punia. We are delighted with our dignitaries' presence on the dais. Ladies and gentlemen, our first session, joint business session between MEA and Odisha. This session is a unique confluence of diplomacy, governance, and entrepreneurial spirit, celebrating the strong bond between India and its vibrant diaspora. We also extend a warm welcome to the esteemed members of Indian diaspora, all the delegates present over here, all the industry leaders whose contributions in the field of business and innovation continue to inspire and strengthen the global footprint of Odisha and India. To commence this session, may I invite our Chief Secretary of Odisha, Shri Manoj Ahuja, who has been instrumental in driving Odisha's socio-economic progress with his visionary leadership and administrative acumen. His efforts have steered Odisha towards inclusive growth and sustainable development. A big round of applause to give welcome address. May I invite Shri Manoj Ahuja.
Namaskar. Mr. S. Jaishankar, Union External Affairs Minister, Honorable Chief Minister Odisha, Mr. mohanmajhi, Honorable Industries Minister, Mr. Sampath Swai, my colleagues on the dais, and all our esteemed guests, especially the Pravasi Bhartiyas, who have made it possible to be here and be present in this August gathering. A very, very warm welcome to all of you, including the distinguished guests from all over India and from Bhubaneswar. I also thank you for being here today, being here with us, and being part of what we call India's growth story. The Honorable Prime Minister has set a vision, Vikshit Bharat 2047, essentially aiming to transform the country, accelerating our rate of growth, and we in Odisha hope to play a very big role in that journey. As our Honorable Chief Minister says, that in that train of progress, Odisha would be the first bogie, or would be a significant contributor in India's journey to achieve the goals we have set for Vikshit Bharat 2047. Why are we so optimistic? Why do we feel that these 2 decades would be India's decades and the decades of the states within India? And only when investors find it conducive to invest, they are able to work, carry out their work in an easy manner, in a time-bound manner, and get results which they seek. And for that, we are planning to make Odisha competitive on a global scale, get our industries connected to the global supply chains, and I feel the geopolitical situation around the world is conducive for investing in India. And like I said, India is one of the countries, we have a huge population, and there is a huge latent demand. As we develop, there is a huge latent demand from basic infrastructure to consumers to services. Therefore, this combination of a domestic market and an external market, I think, is very fortuitous for us. So we feel that this journey, which we would invite you to embark together, would be a very fruitful one for you, and we have things in place. And we wanted to assure the External Affairs Minister, sir, in India's growth story, the state will definitely play a very, very significant role. And we do look forward to that unfolding of the saga which we are envisaging under the Honorable Prime Minister's leadership of a Viksit Bharat 2047. So I welcome all our esteemed guests and all of you once again to this gathering. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your inspiring words. Now let's immerse ourselves in a glimpse of Odisha's transformative journey and the abundant opportunities it offers. Presenting to you the promotional video, Transforming Odisha, Opportunities Unlocked. Can we have a look on the screen, please, everyone? Thank you.
महाप्रभु जगन्नाथ जी की कृपा से उड़ीसा देश की विकास यात्रा के ग्रोथ इंजन पैकी एक होगा.
Welcome to the land of bountiful nature, vibrant culture, and deep-rooted history.
श्री मोहनमajhi.
Welcome to the land where burgeoning growth meets unfathomable potential, leading to boundless opportunities. Welcome to Odisha.
Really, there is no deficit. It has a business orientation.
This state is progressing leaps and bounds to come and invest in Odisha.
welcome you to invest in Odisha, where endless opportunities are poised to meet a radiant future. Come and explore new opportunities.
We hope the video inspired you as much as it inspired us. Moving ahead, it's time to delve deeper into the investment potentials of Odisha. Ladies and gentlemen, I would be requesting the presence of Principal Secretary, Industry Department, Government of Odisha, Shri Hemant Sharma, who has been a key player in creating a robust industrial ecosystem in Odisha, who will present the key investment opportunities in the state. Sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you like this video? Can we have a round of applause, please? And even more energetic round of applause for our friends who have come from all parts of the world, the Pravasi Bhartiyas, please. Honorable Sir, I would be making a very brief presentation about the industrial investment opportunities in Odisha. But since we are honored to have the presence of our Honorable External Affairs Minister, to begin with, this is what Odisha is in terms of size. It is of the size of Bangladesh. In terms of population, it is of the size of Spain. So, Honorable Minister, sir, since you are the External Affairs Minister, it would be easy for you certainly to place us. We have a US $110 economy, 11% of India's water, 480 kilometers of the coast of the Indian coastline. What makes Odisha an interesting and attractive investment destination? I'll just speak on these 5 points very briefly. Our polity, the democratic polity, our economy, geography, policy, and the demography. What is it about our policy, our polity, the demographic polity? What you see on stage is what the change in government is. Ladies and gentlemen, what gives speed to a train? Engine. What gives double straight speed to a train? Do you see that on stage? That is our democratic polity. We have our Honorable Chief Minister, our Honorable External Affairs Minister, and under their leadership, we are going to witness the next phase of Odisha's growth. Our economy has been growing at more than 10% in the last few years. In fact, we are a significant contribution to the growth of Indian economy. There are states growing at a rate lower than us, and there are states growing at a rate faster than us. However, we are a significant contributor to the growth of Indian economy, which today is a beacon of hope in the world, as our Honorable Prime Minister says. We are also one of the fastest growing economy and diversified economies in India, because we got 43%, almost 40% from contribution from industry sector, 38% from services sector, and the balance from agriculture sector. More importantly, because of certain features related to our geography and our polity, we have been receiving good investment intents. The top graph on the right-hand side shows a data given by Center for Monitoring of Indian Economy, where we are the second highest investment attracting state in the country today. Just below Maharashtra, but above Gujarat, above Karnataka, above Tamil Nadu and UP. And the left bottom graph shows a graph by the Reserve Bank of India, not only large investment intents, but also conversion into actual investment opportunities by assistance from financial markets, from capital markets, from banks and other financial institutions. But what drives this growth? What drives this growth is that Odisha is a mineral-rich coastal state. While there are states in the country who are mineral rich, for instance, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, but they are not coastal. And there are coastal states, for instance, Andhra Pradesh, but they are not mineral rich. We are twice blessed by the Lord Jagannath. We have 25% of India's coal, 35% of India's iron ore, 45% of India's manganese, 55% of India's bauxite, almost the entire nickel and chromite. More importantly, we are blessed with rare earths. On the coast of Odisha, we are blessed with rare earths, which is giving us the next age of growth in ilmenite, monazite, and also in titanium. Not only the mineral advantage, we have converted it into the metals advantage. By following a policy of local value addition, we are the largest producer of iron, largest producer of steel, largest producer of stainless steel, largest producer of bauxite, largest producer of alumina, largest producer of aluminium. And not only that, there is a significant growth which is happening. The steel capacities will be added more than 100 million tons per annum. And kindly take a look at this map of Odisha, where you would see that all these investments are spread throughout the state, which gives us tremendous advantage in terms of being able to attract more companies, more and more companies in the entire value chain, from mining to mineral to metal. In fact, there are companies, for instance, TYK from Japan, Wellspun from Gujarat, Caldris from Spain, Aldris from Almatis from France, SMS Group from Germany, Magna again from France, TRL Kosaki from Japan, who have already discovered this value chain prospects in Odisha. It takes 4 million tons of material to be moved for 1 ton of steel, and it requires 8 million tons of material to be moved for 1 million ton of aluminium, and 1 ton of aluminium requires 300 kilograms of 18 other chemicals. Today, all of these chemicals, barring a few, come from a country, I need not name that country. This is a huge opportunity in Odisha. The second advantage which we derive from our geography is our being coastal nature. We are on the east coast of India. We are within 6 hours from 50% of the world economy. The Southeast East Asian nations, countries like Singapore, Sri Lanka, all the Far East countries are closer to us in eastern seaboard than the rest of India on the western seaboard. And we have been able to utilize this advantage in a systematical planned manner by setting up ports on our long coastline, starting with Paradip Port, which is a Government of India port, the largest port in India today. Dhamra Port, which is run by Adani's, and Gopalpur Port, which is also run by Adani's. Aside from that, there is a port at Suvarnrekha being developed by Tata's, and 2 more ports which will be coming up for development in the next 2 to 3 years. Immense opportunities on the coastal region. This coastal advantage, the port advantage, has helped us also become emerging leaders in chemicals and petrochemicals. We are the new destination for textiles, technical textiles, and apparel, and also in food and seafood processing. In fact, sir, I am very happy to inform the Honorable Minister today. We have a proud NRI, A.K. Mishra, who has come all the way from Dubai. He is already establishing a plant in Odisha. We have from Mauritius, Mr. Kohli, Amit Kohli, who represents the Firemont Textiles, who is setting up one of the largest denim manufacturing in Odisha. We have Mr. Mahesh Amlian from Sri Lanka, the Mas Group, who are setting up a very large investment. Similarly, in seafood processing, now there are opportunities opening up in Far East and Southeast Asian and other markets, and we would certainly take advantage of the presence of our friends from other countries to spread this word. In chemicals and petrochemicals, again, there are large number of companies who have discovered the coastal advantage of Odisha. We have one of the 3 PCPIRs in the country, the other 2 being in Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat. And because of the Indian Oil Corporation's dual feed naphtha cracker project, the next wave of investments in chemicals and petrochemicals is coming up in Odisha. Same thing in textiles, technical textiles and apparel, and also in food and seafood processing. Sir, I also wanted to bring to the notice of our Honorable External Affairs Minister, Indonesin, which is a Japanese company, today has the largest noodle manufacturing factory outside of Japan in India, in Bhubaneswar. And there are many other companies who have discovered an advantage. Similarly, the next wave of growth in Odisha is going to be in the new age sectors of renewable energy, biotechnology, electronics, IT, ITS, pharmaceuticals, and automobile and auto components. We have set up good infrastructure facilities, good promotional policies for these investments. Sir, the last point which I wanted to bring to the kind attention of our audience here is, look at this map of Odisha, map of India, which places Odisha in the scheme of Purvodaya. Andhra, Telangana, Odisha, Jharkhand, Bihar, Chhattisgarh, West Bengal, Assam, and the Northeast. This is what is called East-Northeast India. This is 50 crores of India's population. 1/3 of India's population is in this region. And in all goods and services, the CAGR, the growth of demand from consumers in this area is the fastest in India.
look at Odisha as an entry point to this region because we are a coastal state, we are ideally located, we have good infrastructure, good policies, good skilled workforce. Therefore, Odisha can become your entry point to serve this fast emerging, larger, one-third of India's market. We have set up good infrastructure facilities.
Just take a very brief look here. On the east coast, we have the Eastern Expressway. On the west coast, we have the Western Expressway, and these two are connected by a East-West Expressway. All our industrial areas, all our major ports and industrial clusters are located on this. We have ready-to-move industrial lands in good industrial estates in these areas, close to port, close to highway, close to national roads. Ease of doing business. This is the photograph of my Honorable Industries Minister receiving the Top Achiever State Award recently by Shri Piyush Goyalji, Honorable Commerce and Industries Minister, as the Top Achiever State in Ease of Doing Business. And recently, we received Achiever State in the Leeds report just 2 days ago. Again, Commerce and Industries Minister honored our state as an Achiever State in the logistics ease of doing business. Cost of doing business, the lowest in the country. Cost of industrial land, cost of water, cost of power, and cost of moving goods to other parts of the country. It has been proved by studies after studies that we are amongst the lowest in the country. World-class skilling ecosystem. Honorable Minister, sir, out of the top 100 ITIs in the country, 11 are from Odisha. Out of the top 20 ITI graduates last year, 14 were from Odisha. Sir, we are just 4% of India's population and we account for more than 10% of the skilled workforce coming out from our ITIs and polytechnics. You go to any industrial cluster in the country today, whether it is Coimbatore or Mysore, Chennai or Bangalore, Noida or Greater Noida, Surat or Ahmedabad, you will find that the most productive, the most disciplined and the most outcome-oriented employees are from Odisha. We have, all this has, therefore, come, invest in Odisha, invest in the future. Today was a brief audience with you. We are organizing our Global Investors Summit from 28 to 29 January this month. We cordially invite all our Pravasi Bharatiyas to also come. We will have a longer conversation with you. We'll take you to our industrial areas and you will discover more. If you are interested, do click a photograph of this slide. We will get in touch with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the insightful presentation, sir. Next, it is my privilege to invite our visionary leader, Honorable Minister of Industry, Skill Development and Technical Education, Government of Odisha. Please give a thundering round of applause for Shri Sampath Chandra Swai, sir.
Namaskar, Jai Jagannath. Honorable Minister of External Affairs, Dr. S. Jaishankar ji, Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Sri mohanmajhi ji, Chief Secretary of Odisha, Sri Manoj Ahuja ji, Principal Secretary, Industry Department, Sri Hemant Sharma ji, MD Pickle, Sri Bhupinder Singh Punia ji, esteemed business leaders, senior officials, member of the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great privilege to address you today on the occasion of Pravasi Bharatiya Divas 2025. This event is a celebration of the extraordinary contributions of the Indian diaspora to our nation's success. I stand here not just a representative of Odisha, but as a voice for the boundless opportunities our country and especially my state offer. Odisha is on the journey towards a remarkable transformation. We are blending our rich culture with the modern innovations to achieve growth. For us, ease of doing business is not just an idea, it is a way of life. We have simplified the investment process throughout Go Swift single window system. It ensures that all approvals happen smoothly and quickly. Investors who have come to Odisha appreciate our transparent and responsive governance, our recognition as a top achiever in the Business Reformers Action Plan BRAP 2025 reflects our commitment on progress. Odisha has become a trusted partner for business worldwide. Whether you are a big company or a new entrepreneur, we offer policies that ensure stability and growth. Our governance model is very simple. We listen, we adapt, and we evolve with the industry needs. Our key strengths include huge raw material, strong industrial infrastructure, and strategic coastal location. We have 3 operational ports with more under development. These ports connect Odisha to global markets. Our strategic location on Indian's eastern coast make Odisha a gateway to ASEAN and BIMSTEC countries. We are the only state in India which is mineral rich and has uninterrupted access to such a long coastline. Further, we are also developing industrial corridor, logistic hubs, and sector-specific parks for chemical, petrochemicals, food processing, textile and apparels, and IT. Odisha is ready for industrial excellence. Odisha's rich natural resources, strategic coastal location, skilled workforce, and a proactive governance create the perfect environment for business. Key sectors such as metal downstream, chemical, textile, food processing, and IT and ITIS are growing fast. Additionally, Odisha is also becoming a hub for new age industries like renewable energy, electronics manufacturing, and green fuels. We are ready to partner with you to unlock this immense potential and achieve success together. Our highly skilled and low-cost workforce is another key strength. Through the Skilled in Odisha initiative, we have created a talent pool that meets global standards. Our young, dynamic workforce is disciplined, hardworking, and ready to deliver. Odia people are recognized worldwide for the dedication and work ethic. By investing in Odisha, you invest in these talented people who will help your business to grow. Investing in Odisha is more than just doing business. It's joining a thriving ecosystem. We are committed to ensure your investments to grow and succeed. Our government will support you every step of the way. I invite each of you to join us on this exciting journey. Don't just invest in Odisha, growth in Odisha, growth with Odisha. Together we can build industries, create jobs, and shape a brighter future together. Lastly, I am happy to invite you to the Utkarsh Odisha Make in Odisha Conclave 2025, which will be held on January 28th and 29th January in Bhubaneswar. This conclave will bring together business leaders, innovators, and policymakers from across the globe. This premier platform is your gateway to new opportunity, to partnerships that will shape the future of industry in India. Thank you. I look forward to welcome you all to Bhubaneswar. Bande Utkal Janani. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your amazing words. Next, we have the honor of hearing from a distinguished diplomat and a statesman who has represented India on the global stage with unparalleled competence and has been pivotal in shaping India's foreign policy to align with the aspirations of its citizens and diaspora. With an illustrious career spanning over 4 decades, he has served as India's ambassador to several key nations and played a critical role in negotiating landmark agreements. His leadership has significantly enhanced India's global standing. Ladies and gentlemen, give a thundering round of applause. Let's have on the podium Dr. S. Jaishankar, Honorable External Affairs Minister of India, for his special address.
Honorable Chief Minister, Shri mohanmajhi ji, Honorable Industries Minister, Shri Sampath Charan Swain ji, Chief Secretary Manoj Ahuja ji, Principal Secretary Hemant Sharma ji, MD Epicol Bhupendra Singh Punia ji, Excellencies, my Pravasi brothers and sisters. It's a great pleasure to welcome you all today. Namaskar and Jai Jagannath. In the course of a long work life, I've been called many things. Today was the first time I was called a second engine of a train. It was a novel description, but a very good one. I appreciate it very much. And I think the message of double engine is the first message we want to give you from this event. But I do want to ask all of you, our Pravasi visitors especially, of the importance of doing a business session, a joint business session on an occasion like this. Because persons of Indian origin and non-resident Indians, you are in many ways are connect to the world. We often use the word a living bridge for all of you. And the fact is, India will be unique in terms of a major power rising, which has actually used, is using and will continue to use its diaspora as a very important pathway for its globalization and for its rise in the international order. Now, why is that important? It is important because if you look at the history of the world, especially the modern world, no country has grown by itself. Every country has grown with partners, with global partners. And at this time, for us, that partnership, a partnership which will supplement resources, which will infuse technology, which will introduce best practices, that is absolutely essential if India is to attain its potential. And that is where NRIs and PIOs can really make a difference. Now, our Prime Minister often talks of 3 T's when it comes to evaluating foreign policy. In fact, we use the 3 T's in the Foreign Ministry to evaluate our own people as well. And the 3 T's are trade, technology, and tourism. And I want you today to reflect on those 3 T's located as you are in Bhubaneswar from the perspective of Odisha. So the first T, trade. I think you have seen through the presentations what a blessing Odisha has in terms of resources. But resources do not automatically translate into trade. Resources need investments, resources need facilities, resources need connectivity. And today, how to increase, how to do the value add so that what you trade is not just resources but value adds from it. And how to leverage the location of Odisha. Because if one looks ahead, you know, the eastern seaboard of India is going to become a crucial exposure, a connect of India to the world. We have spoken of the Look East policy. In many ways, you can say the Look East policy actually has a historical origin in the state called Bali Yatra. That the connect to Southeast Asia actually started in Odisha. That today, this eastward connection, and I can visualize it in the coming decades. When I was last time in Singapore, we have a ministerial mechanism. One of the important subjects we discussed were green shipping corridors. So whether it is, orthodox shipping, whether it is green shipping, whether it is power grids, whether, as I said, it is resources, the value adds on it, the potential for trade based from Odisha is really enormous. The second T, of course, is technology. But this T is increasingly acquiring a particular connotation in the world today. Technology is not like a manufactured good. It has, in the digital era, a very high element of trust. Countries, people, organizations want to know where is their data, who is processing it, who is harvesting it, who will deploy it. And technology, therefore, is increasingly associated with trusted talent. So when we speak here, and my colleague, the Principal Secretary, spoke about it, we saw a little bit of it in the slide as well. The talent of Odisha, the fact that today you have young demography, you have a very strong education backbone of this state. Today, technology also offers a lot of possibilities for collaboration. And the third, of course, is tourism. Many of you perhaps would be here for the first time. Some of you come from this state. But I can tell you, I had an opportunity yesterday to see some of the tourism possibilities for myself. I think this state is simply incredible in terms of what it has to offer. And again, it's not just for your aesthetic satisfaction I'm saying this. I'm making this as an investment pitch that tourism is the biggest employer generator and multiplier in the world. Those who will invest in tourism in this state are actually, in a sense, obviously helping themselves, but they are actually contributing to development and to inclusive growth in the state in a very, very powerful way. So I would today, other than the message of the double engine, want to give you the message of those three T's, that trade with and from Odisha, technology and tourism. These are really very important dimensions of what this state has to offer. I'm very glad again the point was made about the Modi government's commitment to Purvodaya, the renaissance, the revival, the rejuvenation of the East. India was historically at its greatest point when the eastern parts of India were at the height of their glory. And I can tell you that one of the earliest commitments in this term, the third term of the Modi government, was to take the practical decisions to enable Purvodaya to actually happen. And a crucial, I would say, almost a fulcrum of that, in many ways, is the state of Odisha. So, let me conclude by saying this. I have been a fairly long time in the government, a little less in politics, briefly even in business. And I can tell you that when people look for, investment, when people look for business, at the end of the day, what is most important for them is to get a good sense about their partners. They will evaluate ease of doing business. They will look at ease of living, how non-bureaucratic a decision making is. They will look at the quality of infrastructure, what Gati Shakti has been delivering and will continue to deliver. They will assess the talent of a society. They will look for political stability. They will look for policy stability which comes from political stability. But at the end of the day, it's not just information that investors and business partners will seek. They will also look at the quality of leadership. Today you have Team Odisha's leadership in front of you. I'm confident that it inspires as much confidence in you as it does in me. And I am really very confident that today's meeting is the beginning of a conversation that many of you will come back to this state again and again, that your confidence will translate into business propositions and into investment decisions. Thank you again for your attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, gratitude to Honorable Minister Sir for his insightful and thought-provoking special address today. I would also like to take this moment to introduce about a remarkable book authored by himself, Why Bharat Matters. This compelling work delves into India's strategic significance, historical resilience, and aspirations for the future. I personally urge everyone here to explore it as it offers profound insights into why Bharat stands tall in global affairs and why understanding its journey is crucial for all of us. This book has 11 interconnected essays that delves into India's foreign policy, emphasizing its cultural values and global ambitions. He has highlighted various aspects, India's initiatives such as Sagar, Neighborhood First, showcasing India's emergence as a positive force internationally. Thank you so much, sir. Moving ahead, it's my privilege to invite our Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri mohanmajhi, for his address to the August gathering. A leader of profound vision and dedication, also known for his grassroots connects and innovative policies, Shri Majhi has transformed Odisha into a hub of industrial and cultural excellence. A big round of applause. Thank you. Sir, over to you.
Jai Jagannath, Namaskar, good morning. Honorable Minister, External Affairs, Dr. S. Jaishankar ji, Honorable Minister, Industries, Skill Development and Technical Education, Government of Odisha, Sri Sampath Chandra Swai, Chief Secretary, Sri Manoj Ahuja, Principal Secretary, Industries, Sri Hemant Sharma, Managing Director, Ripicol, Odisha, Sri Bhupendra Singh Punia, business leaders of India and Diaspora, business leaders from Odia, Diaspora, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the land of Lord Jagannath. Welcome to the land of opportunities, Odisha. I am delighted and feel privileged to address such esteemed guests of India and Diaspora members, entrepreneurs, and visionaries. I extend a warm welcome to each one of you to this special session. Your presence here affirms Odisha's potential as India's investment destination of choice. While over Odisha is known as the land of Lord Jagannath, we have been a prominent center of art, craft, and architecture for centuries. Today, we are fast emerging as a growth engine of India. Under the visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendramodi ji, we are working hard to achieve the goal of Samruddha Odisha by 2036 and Vikshit Bharat by 2047. A key component of Prime Minister's vision of Vikshit Bharat is Purvodaya, development of the eastern Indian states. Odisha is the front runner of this effort. I, on behalf of the people of Odisha, extend a warm welcome to you to come and invest in Odisha. Since my government has been formed, Odisha has got investment proposals of 2.2 lakh crores and job creation will be 1.4 lakh jobs. Now, let me indulge in brief why you must come here and do business in the state. Odisha is the second richest state with mineral resources. You name it and we have it. Odisha is perhaps the most peaceful state in the entire country with stable law and order. There are no social fault lines disturbing peace. The state has a history of giving stable political environment. The state has an impressive infrastructure with networks of national highways, state highways, blacked of arterial roads, 3 functional seaports, and 2 major airports with about 4 more smaller airports to serve smooth connectivity. 2 more major airports are coming up at Puri and Charbatia. Odisha has one of the busiest rail corridors linking virtually to all parts of India. Availability of skilled as well as unskilled manpower at the right cost as compared to other industrial states and more our state with investor-friendly industrial policy. What more the industry requires, you can virtually tick all the boxes for setting up industry in this place. I can assure you that we are already to work for steps if you chose to work half a step. We have only one condition: people of the state ought to benefit from it. The Union government under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji has sanctioned road and railway projects worth about $5 billion as 40,000 crores in last 6 months. Odisha's capital outlay is highest among the major Indian states, 6.3% of gross state domestic product. The state has a consistent record of growth under the visionary leadership of our leader Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji. We have already become the 5th largest economy in the world and at present the fastest growing big economy. India is now the only shining star over a sea of gloom and doom around us. Odisha also aspires to be a part of this growth journey. While from the 13th biggest economy in the country, we want to propel ourselves to be among the top 5 economies in the country. I hope as the country celebrates its 100 years of independence in 2047, we will achieve this goal and Odisha will be in the proud club with a $1 trillion economy. For realizing this goal, foundation has to be strong and should be laid early, which we are doing with Utkarsh Odisha. In order to achieve this, we have a defined and clear roadmap. Our vision for Odisha's transformation is centered on future-ready sectors such as renewable energy, advanced manufacturing, petrochemicals, textiles, pharmaceuticals, and biotechnology. Youth are an unbound source of energy, innovation, and in order to make them industry ready, we are providing them the required skill education. I will fail in my duty if I don't mention the wonderful gift nature has gifted us. The natural bounty of virgin forests, beautification on green mountains, 480-kilometer long coastline and sea beaches, Asia's largest saltwater natural lake, hundreds of historical and religious places. What more you need to invest in the field of tourism? I urge the diaspora to explore the possibility in this important sector, which promises so much possibilities. Under the visionary leadership of our beloved Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, we have already become the fifth largest economy in the world and at present the fastest growing big economy. After we achieve the goal of $5 trillion economy in a year or so, we will be aiming at building India to enter the coveted $10 trillion economy in next 5 to 7 years. Odisha also aspires to be a part of this growth journey, while from the 13th biggest economy in the country, with about $100 billion USD economy, we want to propose ourselves to be among the top 5 economy in the country. With the power of the double engine governance and blessing of our beloved and visionary Prime Minister Sri Modi ji, it will be realized sooner than later. As we prepare for a Utkarsh Odisha Make in Odisha Conclave 2025, I extend a warm invitation to all of you to join us in this journey. Odisha is on the move, and together we can shape a future for shared prosperity. India is the favorite destination of global FDI in the world, and we want to make Odisha as the favorite destination of FDI in India. Thank you all for being here today, and I look forward to welcoming you to the Utkarsh Odisha Make in Odisha Conclave at Bhubaneswar. Come, invest in Odisha, invest in future. Thank you for gracing the occasion and make us proud. Bande Utkal Janani, Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. True flag bearer of Odia, Smita, who relentlessly working with a vision to achieve vikshitodisha 2036. अतिथि देवो भव, इसी परंपरा को सम्मान देते हुए I would be requesting Honorable Minister Industry to present our traditional representation of Odisha Handloom Uttariya to Honorable Minister External Affairs Dr. S. Jaishankar, Government of India. Everyone, please give a thundering round of applause. I'd be requesting Honorable CM Sir to present a token of appreciation, a memento, to Dr. S. Jaishankar, Honorable Minister, External Affairs, Government of India, for his humble presence. Thank you so much, sir. I'd be now requesting MD Picol, Sri Bhupinder Singh Punia, for official vote of thanks.
Thank you. Honorable dignitaries on the dais, esteemed guests, industry friends, good afternoon, namaskar. As we come close to the insightful session, it is my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of Government of Odisha and EPICOL. Firstly, I would like to thank Honorable Minister of External Affairs, Dr. S. Jaishankar. Sir, your inspiring words and steadfast support have emphasized the pivotal role of partnerships between the Indian diaspora and states in India's growth story. Thank you, sir, for sharing your vision and reinforcing Odisha's global ambitions. Sir, your 3T mantra of trade, technology and tourism, sir, we will follow in future, sir. I would like to thank our Honorable Chief Minister, Sri mohanmajhi, sir. Your visionary address has highlighted Odisha's transformation as a leading destination for innovation, sustainable industrialization, global connectivity. Your leadership continues to inspire us to aim for greater heights. Thank you, sir. I also thank Sri Sampath Charan Swai, Honorable Minister, Industries, and skill development and technical education for his constant support. Sir, your dedicated efforts towards creating a business-friendly ecosystem in Odisha are instrumental in driving investment and fostering inclusive growth. Thank you, sir. I thank Chief Secretary, Sir Sri Manoj Ahuja. I thank Hemant Secretary Industries, and most importantly, a special note and thank and note of gratitude and thank to all the members of Diaspora and business community who has joined this session. Your contribution towards Odisha's growth through investment, collaboration, knowledge sharing are invaluable. I again welcome, as Sir has emphasized in his address, that we have to develop partnership, and this is the beginning of the partnership. I welcome you all again in Bhubaneswar in Odisha, and this is the beginning of our partnership. So we will continue to work on this. Thank you for that again. In conclusion, I extend my sincere thanks to the Ministry of External Affairs for their partnership in organizing this session. My gratitude also goes to the team from Industries Department, EPICOL and other stakeholders who worked hard to make this session a grand success. Thank you all for your ideas, belief in Odisha's vision. Together, let's create lasting partnerships and shared success. Vande Utkal Janani, Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you to our esteemed dignitaries on the dais for your valuable addition to the session. Together, let's continue to build bridges that connect Odisha and India with the global community, fostering shared growth and prosperity. I will be hereby requesting everyone to please have lunch outside, and we have two important sessions related to Odisha and of course global economy, which will be conducted in the plenary hall at Janta Maidan. I will be requesting you all post lunch to please join us for two amazing sessions awaiting for your presence and participation. And of course, in the evening, we have an astounding cultural presentation by Guru Aruna Mohanty and her troupe. Thank you so much. Once again, I will say thank all of you for your presence and participation. With this, we conclude the very first session, which was all about joint business session of MEA and Odisha. Thank you so much.
His journey to where he is today, I myself wanted to make a difference. So I sat, after reading a very religious scripture, I decided that I'm going to do something for the youth of South Africa, specifically for the Indian kids and youngsters, youth of South Africa. So I started with a radio show where I was talking to a few hundred kids. I then started to move forward to various other communities where I started talking to a few thousands of kids of Indian, diaspora, and I wanted to continue my journey. Therefore, I opened and founded the non-profit organization called Care for Africa, because today I'm able to help youth in South Africa as a whole, and in time to come, we will look at the continent Africa. So my dream is to ensure that the youth out there in my country are able to make a difference, because I believe every single youngster out there has the potential to make a difference, to be their best version. And we take a lot of inspiration from the youth of India, because we admire their field in technology and everything that they are striving for. So I want the youngsters in South Africa to make a mark, just like how the Indians here, the youth, are making their mark. And that is my vision, that is my goal, and that is my dream, to ensure that the youth in South Africa are driven with motivation, are encouraged to be their best version, and I will continue to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Revati. We now move on to Mr. Muhyiddin Muhammad Ali from Oman.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank Honorable Minister for his wonderful words, and also share that it's a real privilege and honor to be in front of all of you with my fellow panelists as well. I would like to share a little bit about myself. I'm a second-generation entrepreneur from Oman. And I can't tell my story without telling the story of my father. My father left India 55 years ago in search of a better economic opportunity, to find prosperity. And that journey took him to Mizoram, a few hundred kilometers away, and it took him to the shores of the Gulf in Oman. And over those 55 years, through hard work and determination and the blessings of the Almighty, we have been blessed to be part of the nation-building process in infrastructure, in education, in hospitality. And today, we have come full circle where we see India is the largest opportunity in front of us. And we have the capacity and the capability to really go after that opportunity. Now, we are privileged to have that basic needs met from nutrition and education and health. So how do we make the most of all of that to do justice to that opportunity? What I see as the Honourable Minister had shared as well, the brain power is here, the manpower is here, and capital will follow where capability meets opportunity. I'll repeat that again. Capital will follow where capability meets opportunity. And there is an abundance of capability and opportunity over here. When the opportunity is big enough, there's some magic that can happen. There's innovation that can happen. We've seen it with our moderator, Benny, as well. He's done that in the IT space. And what I'm excited about is what is the kind of innovation that can happen in infrastructure, in construction, in education, in hospitality. So I'm excited and really happy to be a part of the future of making Viksit Bharat a reality. I'd also like to share from Oman, our proximity to India meant that we were always connected to our homeland, culturally, by language, by people, by the food, even our clothing. In Oman, we wear the musar, and the best musar comes from Kashmir. And under our dishdasha, we wear a wazar. Where does that come from? That comes from South India, from Kerala, from my hometown. So even the geography of India is mapped in our clothing. So it's a natural and beautiful and exciting relationship that I hope to continue to build. This has been a relationship that has spanned centuries, and we've talked about trade. And we always hear about the historical connections. And in the 70s, there was more of a cost arbitrage or access to manpower and people and labor. But that's changing. And today, the opportunity is in India, and that's what I'm really excited about and looking forward to discussing with my fellow panelists as we go forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ali. We saved the best for last. We'll now hear from Mikala Pandey. She comes all the way from Trinidad and Tobago.
Namaste. Thank you, moderator, Honorable Minister. Good day, everybody. My name is Michaela Pandey, and I come from Trinidad and Tobago, all the other way. I think I've been flying since last week, Tuesday. But I got here safely, and I want to thank the Indian government for the opportunity to be here to discuss with these wonderful fellow panelists. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm an attorney at law. I am also the political leader of a political party called the Patriotic Front. I follow in the steps of my father, the Honorable Basdeo Pandey, who was the former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. In fact, thank you. In fact, 20 years ago, he was here at this conference, and he was receiving the Summer Award. Sadly, he passed last year, so it is both happy and emotional to be here, but I'm very, very proud to have been given the opportunity. When my father became the first Indian Prime Minister in Trinidad and Tobago, we have a cosmopolitan country. What had happened was Indian people felt empowered, and not in a negative way, but in a positive way, to be proud of their food, of their culture, of their religion. They didn't feel the need to hide it. We were able to get Indian radio stations so that we can listen to Indian music. Not at the detriment of any other race, but it brought a sense of equality and non-discrimination that we had been facing as Indians in the past. So, as his daughter, I don't think that you can inherit legacy. I think what you can do is carry it on. And therefore, it is my duty as a political leader and as a lawyer to do my best to carry on his legacy while building my own, forging relationships with the government of India, of course, and to do the best I can for my country and all of its people. My duty, my aim, my vision is very much like my father's, which is really to unite our country, and everybody is invited to come. We're only 1.4 million people. We can accommodate you. You're all welcome to come. Right now, the Indo-Trinidadian population is in the majority, perhaps about 53%. But we live in harmony. Indian people of different religions. We have Muslims, Christians, Hindus, but we all live in harmony. It's a beautiful place, and I look forward to having discussions with my fellow panelists and learning from them as well. I thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Michaela. Now let's make this interesting. We have the Honorable Minister of Youth Affairs here. We have, I think, a big delegation from the External Ministry also in the audience. And I think now I'd like to open up this discussion with you guys and have you talk about how, what support do you guys need from the government? How can the government help in this align your vision and your work with this vision of Vikshit Bharat that has been set forward by Prime Minister Modi. So maybe I'll start with Mr. Ali. So you've been doing business already in India, and when we were talking earlier, you were saying that India looks to be the biggest market opportunity for you going forward, and you're also involved in a lot of initiatives of increasing collaboration between businesses between Oman and India. So tell us a little more about all of that and how you see some of your work contributing to Vikshit Bharat, and also how can we enable more people in your part of the world to do the same?
Thank you, Benny. I'll try to answer that by sharing the larger trends of people movement between the two regions. So, as I mentioned earlier, from the 70s when the Gulf was developing with the discovery of oil and the need to really start the nation-building process with infrastructure and healthcare and all of that, there was a lot of people that were coming from India, and especially from the south of India as well, to partner in that building process. So it was the proximity, the cost of labor, of manpower, of brain power, the experience as well, and also the fact at the time economically India was not as conducive to business at the time. So people were looking for better opportunities. Now, in the last 5 decades, each of those nations have developed a fair amount of their infrastructure, and we see there's also a movement back of people back to India, where there's a need for creating employment in their own nations as well. I see this as an opportunity. They have the most important part in building the Viksit Bharat is first building the capability. And that capacity has been built with the experience from all across the diaspora, all across where you have the latest technology and infrastructure being built. All that know-how and brain power is coming back to apply to the opportunities over here. At the larger scale, that is what it is, but I think technology has been the biggest democratizer of knowledge. Today, you don't need to go to a college or go to an institute to pick up skills. You have it. You have it at the palm of your hand. You can. The key is to know what skill you want to learn. What is it that you want to learn? So once that clarity is there, this is a message to the youth. Know what you are looking for first. Once you know that, you will be guided. The knowledge is out there. Your journey for learning is easier than it was a few decades ago. So the opportunities are there. The knowledge is available. Have that discipline, the courage, and keep that collaborative and open mindset that there will be people to help you along the way, and that opportunities are there for you, waiting for you. Maybe if you take too long, it might not be there because someone else is in a bit of a hurry. So have that sense of urgency, have that discipline, and seek that journey of learning, lifelong learning.
I think I will add on to panelists. It's very interesting when it comes to Viksit Bharat, because like how in Malaysia we had a vision 2020. We were almost there, but unfortunately 2020 was also during the COVID, and we had a great impact, not only we, the whole world. And it's quite a struggle after the COVID pandemic, and now we are getting there. But looking at the vision of 2047 Viksit Bharat, it's really good how they really empower the youth community, especially. By empowering the youth in all sectors and scope, they're indirectly building the nation. The nation building process begins from there. And when we had a visit last year, many months back, with the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Anwar Ibrahim, we sat down with the Prime Minister, Narendramodi ji. We discussed many exchange opportunities, and there were many opportunities, but one of it really made me really excited was the education part. Because the exchange of education, thanks to the Indian government, they've given us many scholarships for the Malaysian students to come here and study. With that kind of exchange policies, we really can have proper ideas exchange of policies, technologies, digital platforms. And we create these opportunities so that the young people out there can use this, grab this opportunity and to change this into nation building policies. I feel that way is much more better than we calling the young people out there to come and join us. Because I still remember during my campaign, I always say that the young people are not the leaders of the future, but they are the leaders of the day, today. And by creating the leaders of today, it should be sustainable enough so that the leaders of today can be the leaders of the future. And India being young nation with the age of, average age 29, I'm also 29. And I'm really, really happy that India have chosen this path. And we as a Malaysian, the government of Malaysia, will definitely encourage our country as well by looking at the Visit Bharat policies. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe I can bring in Michaela on this topic as well. Given you play a similar role in your country, how do you see the collaboration opportunities between Trinidad and Tobago and India?
Traditionally, what has happened is when you're on the other side of the world, you almost look at as if it is too far. But of course, with technology, nothing is too far. Won't you agree with me, sisters? Nothing is too far. So absolutely, I think Trinidad is a growing and developing country. Our vision for our country is to achieve its fullest potential. And to do that, we cannot operate in isolation. And therefore, collaboration within the diaspora and of course with India would be very, very beneficial. And the beautiful thing about it is that to go back to my father, before he got into politics, he actually got a scholarship to come to India and didn't take up the scholarship and got involved in politics. I think one of the ways that we could definitely, again coming back into politics, is that we must be able to engage with each other and have exchange programs. Even though we are quite far away, we have so much in common. And one of the things I was thinking about, it would be so good to have a political diaspora, political leadership academy. That's just, sort of idea where, offer training to diaspora youth to enter into politics. By the host country can do something like that. So yes, in many ways possible, Excellency.
Thank you. Revati, what's your thoughts on this topic?
I have lots to think about here. But I think just to take you a step back, many of my fellow panelists will know that I'm the 6th generation in South Africa. So the reason why I'm saying this is, okay, so in 1860, as you know, Indians left India and they came to South Africa. And they came in as slaves, they worked on the sugarcane fields, and they worked for the British there and as slaves. Now the reason why I'm saying this is because on that very land that our forefathers, my forefathers that hailed from Kanchipuram, Tamil Nadu, who worked very hard on that sugarcane fields, Care for Africa, as the founder and CEO, I would like to actually create a skills development center on that very same soil that my forefathers worked very hard, put their blood, sweat and tears on, is because one of the things that our forefathers, when they came to South Africa, was they wanted an education for their children. They built schools in South Africa, in Natal. They built places of worship to make sure that the youth don't forget their culture, their religion. They made sure that their kids do not go through the same struggles that they went through. Now, like I said, with 21 years of Gandhiji being there, and it gives me pleasure because it's on the eve, as tomorrow marks the 110th year that Gandhiji left South Africa to come to India after making a difference and giving us the freedom to be able to say I'm proudly South African Indian. Now, with saying that, and the reason why I gave you that background was because I would like to ask the government of India for support. I would like to open that center in an area called Mount Edgecombe, which is in the north of Natal, and that is exactly where our forefathers were working. I would like to open a center, and my vision for that center is to have a robotics section, is to have an IT AI section, to have career development, to have mentorship, and many other areas, because there are many young kids out there in South Africa of Indian diaspora that parents cannot afford for education. Unfortunately, degrees are not affordable for every youngster in my country. So the purpose is for every youngster to attend that center and leave with some sort of certification, some sort of skill. So when they leave to go into the outside world, they'll be able to get a place of employment. Because right now, the youth unemployment rate is slightly high in South Africa. So to be able to help them, my request to the Indian government is the fact that India, when you talk about India, when you talk about their AI, their technology, you actually, I am very proud to say they are the leaders. And in so I'm asking for help with the robotics section, with the AI, for mentoring as well. And coming from a radio background, something that I actually thought about now, but I will definitely speak about it, is that center will also have a room for online radio. We'll call it the K channel. And globally, youth will be able to communicate via that radio channel and talk about different things that the youngsters who don't really have much knowledge on can learn from. Learn from experts when they talk about, like the panelists that I have here that are quite, experts in their field. If we can just share that knowledge, because I personally believe, and we always talk about this saying in South Africa, is don't catch the fish for the person. Teach the person how to catch the fish. Don't, give the person, or don't give the youth. As long as you continue to give the youth resources, they'll never learn how to fend for themselves. So I want to give them a skill so they are able to fend for themselves. So that is my request, is to be able to get support from the government of India to create that center for 2025, as that is our vision back home.
Thanks, Revati. You can definitely count my support in for your center. Ishani, let's move on to you. So, from your perspective as a technologist and a social entrepreneur, how can India better engage with and support diaspora youth who are driving social change like you are in diverse fields? Are there any specific initiatives such as cross-cultural exchange programs or funding opportunities that would be particularly impactful?
Thanks, Vinny. I think there are a lot of opportunities here, but one thing that I would like to first start off with is to just, for everybody on an individual level, to reflect back on one's perspective and identity and have confidence in the identity that they have. And that gives you the confidence to face the world, whatever challenges it is. So once I looked through my history, and when I got the confidence to share about my history, there are a lot of initiatives and there are a lot of opportunities, I think, especially in Hong Kong with the Consulate General, to share the different cultures. And one example for this is last year we celebrated for the first time Borgit and Hotriya recital in Hong Kong, which happened for the first time. And these are traditional Assamese dance and music. And with that, throughout that whole program, we also curated booklets like this, which kind of was shared with the audience about the dance forms and about the music and stuff like that. And this was with the support of the Consulate General. So when we have ideas, giving people the support to build on the ideas, I think is the key to really pushing for a Viksit Bharat.
Yeah, Revati, you want to come in?
Yes, sorry. I think in addition to that, I'd forgotten to mention that, you know, when you go and stay in another country that's quite westernized, it's very difficult to keep your culture intact. It's very difficult to pass on the traditions of culture, religion, and where you come from. Hence, the youth of South Africa, of Indian diaspora, really do struggle at times to keep that culture alive, whether learning the language, learning why we do certain traditions, whether it's a wedding, whether it's the last rites of their loved ones. So the other request is, how do we work together with South Africa and India where we are able to keep that culture alive? And that is my other request. You know, we need to ensure that in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time, the Indians in South Africa are aware of why do they perform a certain prayer, why do they do certain things and the right things when they perform a marriage, for that matter. They need to continue to keep their culture alive. So that's my other request, is how to make sure it does not get diluted any further. Thank you.
Don, you want to add?
But just one thing, moderator. Diluting isn't always... I don't think it's diluting. I think you can add to it to make it something bigger.
I agree.
And sort of better. Because in Trinidad and Tobago, I'll tell you something, we have something called doubles. We invented that. And it's 2 bara and chana inside. We have chicken roti. Guyanese people say chicken roti, curry chicken, curry chicken, and they change up the words. But that's like our national dish. But because we are so cosmopolitan, and we have people of African descent, we've got Chinese people there, Syrian people there, we've been able in Trinidad and Tobago to almost make it a mixing pot and create our own thing, and it's been very beneficial because it's made people feel very patriotic, not only about their country but still have a link to the home country.
No, definitely. I think it gives you, I think what you're saying is definitely right, because it allows South African Indians, for example, to have that flavor and that trademark. But what I'm talking about is there are many youth out there in South Africa that need to understand the purpose of the Mangal Sutra. They need to understand about their prayer. They need to understand why it's important for Kanyadan. They need to understand the importance of why it's so important for their son, to have a son to do their last rites. Culture in that aspect should never be diluted. Hence, I say that we definitely need support.
And I say one thing, sorry for interrupting, because I see my friend Don there. When my father passed away last year, almost a week to the date, I did his rites. And proudly so as a woman as well. So, I think it's important to always strike a sort of balance, and so that, because patriotism is also very important.
Yeah, you have to strike the right balance. Well said, Michaela. Don?
Thank you. This is a very rich discussion, and I'd just like to add on quickly about it. When we talk about the Indian diaspora in the Philippines, now we have to understand that we are an archipelago in Southeast Asia. And compared to other foreign communities in the country, the Indian diaspora is not as large, relatively speaking. It's over 20,000. But despite that, the Indian community in the Philippines has been front and center in taking part in humanitarian assistance in the country throughout history. Now, this is an important thing that we must take note of. No community comes close to the nature in which the Indian community during times of crisis in the Philippines. Now, we are a disaster-prone area. Typhoons especially is a major concern in the Philippines. And more recently, the COVID-19 pandemic. And you look into whatever the natural disaster that occurs within the country, first and foremost, the Indian community connect and get themselves together to help in every capacity that they can. And that has left a very positive mark for the Filipino people towards the Indian community. And I think that at this point in time, when diaspora politics in the field of international politics considers to be an element of weaponization, I can proudly say that the Indian diaspora continues to be the most favorable diaspora across the world. And I could say that with great pride and great confidence. Honestly speaking, even within Southeast Asia, as a Filipino of Indian origin, I could see that based on the statistics, based on public opinion. Now, on top of that, what we also need to understand here is that the perception towards Indians in the Philippines is also very positive, to the point that now under the current legislation, as I have mentioned earlier, I also take part actively in the foreign policy and defense planning in consultations in the country. And one of the major issues here, one of the major potential here is the Philippines wants to leverage Indians and to enhance people-to-people ties. So how do we do that? Well, the Philippines is now opening up visa on arrival, e-visas. They're trying to explore that. Initially speaking, and the initial target was China, because China has a huge population, etc. But then majority of policymakers said recently, hold on. Why aren't we looking at India? First of all, India is our friend. India has no axe to grind in the region, and third, India is a much-needed stabilizer in the region. So I'm very happy to also inform you that policymakers are also looking towards people-to-people connections. And the awareness of the youth, particularly, towards India's growth is phenomenal. Last year, we had the 10th anniversary of the Act East policy under Prime Minister Modi ji. Now, we have to, and I'm happy to let you all know that this is the first time that I have given so many lectures towards so many universities in the country, informing them about the significance of the Act East. But it was not just me saying that I want to talk about it. This was coming from Philippine universities telling that we want to know more about Act East. So that in itself is a huge development. Now, where can the government work together with the Philippines? That goes to the last point that I'd like to make. The answer is connectivity. Now, we have a vast number of Indians, tourists especially, going back and forth, India to Philippines. And, throughout the past few years, I was telling our Indian ambassador to the Philippines, Ambassador Jainji, and previously Ambassador Shambhu Kumaranji, who is now in Austria. And I've also been telling this to, the Philippine ambassador to India, Ambassador Ignacio. All wonderful people, all wonderful representatives. And I was saying that whenever I take flights, last year I was in India for at least 6 times for academic and engagements. And I see that the number of Filipinos going along with me to plane rides towards India have been increasing as well. So there is that awareness, there is that momentum, there is that interest. And in my conversation with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the idea here was we hope to have a connecting flight, a direct connecting flight between Manila and Delhi. And I do hope that with the joint effort of the Philippine government and the Indian government, that this plan would eventually materialize this year. And I think that this is a major step to enhancing that momentum that is already present here today. And I'm very happy to let you all know this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Don. Before I bring this panel to an end, I'd like to give the panelists one more opportunity if somebody has anything to add. Ali?
So Oman and India had recently been working on a comprehensive economic partnership agreement, a CEPA, and we look at that very optimistically and positively. And furthermore, there's the Indo-Gulf European Economic Corridor, I believe. I may have gotten the words wrong, but these are all excellent initiatives at the highest levels of government. What I would like to see more, and what I hope to do in my role as the president of the Oman chapter of OMC, is to build the connectivity, people-to-people connectivity, technology to markets, and capital to ideas at the lower level, maybe the ones that don't make the headlines, at the small and medium enterprises. If there's a technology that's being developed over here that has a market in the Gulf. I would love for a platform to create that platform for them to access that opportunity. So my request from the government is just helping not just at the higher levels but at the SME and the lower levels as well. Yeah, thank you.
I would like to...
One of the things that's very important, especially for a country like ours in Trinidad and Tobago, is being able to feed itself. In Trinidad and Tobago, we have oil and gas, and we don't know how much left, but we've not diversified our economy, and that has worked towards our detriment. We haven't done it, whether it is in tourism, medical tourism, sports tourism, manufacturing, anything like that. But for us, I believe in order, a country must be able to feed itself. We see when other countries are going through war, how food prices can shoot up. And that is one of the biggest problems that we're having in Trinidad now. A lot of people are struggling to be able to eat. Yet we have extremely fertile land that if you throw any seeds, it grows in our country. So I would love to see some kind of collaboration with India in terms of agriculture and modernized agricultural practices, and almost for us to work together to break the stereotype that we have inherited, that if you're in agriculture, it comes from indentured laborship or slavery. Because it doesn't have to be like that. And I think we need to break that culture there, and also to get the expertise that we need. And then from being able to feed ourselves, we can move on to feeding the Caribbean and exporting. And it helps so many things trickle up and down for our economy. So that would definitely help us in the Caribbean, in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah. Well said. Thank you. I would also like to wish again, thank you to the government of India for giving me this opportunity. I'm very honored to be here. You see, being a diaspora in Malaysia, I'm the fourth generation, like I said just now. The majority of us in Malaysia are the Tamils from Tamil Nadu. And remembering the stories from my elders, where the Indians in Malaysia were started from the estates, the rubber tappers, the railway track, the engineers who were struggling to come up in life, although the laws and the constitution is being fair to everyone. But of course, we being the minority in Malaysia, we had quite a struggle. And how successful we are now, we cannot say we are very successful, but we are doing all our best as a diaspora. We are working together in the diversity of Malaysia, where there's multiracial, the Malays, the Chinese, the Sabahan, the Sarawakian, the Ibans and all. And being said, me being the first Indian MP in Kuala Lumpur, set an example for the young Indian diasporas in Malaysia to be successful and come up in life, whether it is in politics, or economy, education, or more things. And of course, the relationship between Malaysia and India has improved tremendously with the recent visit. And we also decided to give visa-free to go to India, and India also has done the same thing. And the numbers of tourists to Malaysia has increased dramatically, which indirectly improves our economy. And I really appreciate the platform given today and sharing these things to the diaspora. And I already had many invitations to go to Africa, and one of it was another country. And I can't wait to go and visit the other country diaspora and share my thoughts and exchange policies with them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I would like now for the Honorable Minister to share some concluding remarks. So you heard all the panelists and heard their leadership stories and what they feel about Viksit Bharat.
1.5 घंटे के हमारे पैनल डिस्कशन में डेढ़ घंटे के कंट्री टू कंट्री एंड उसमें युवाओं की क्या भूमिका हो सकती है, कौन से सेक्टर हमारे लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी है, उसमें से खास करके सभी ने कॉमन विषय कहा है, टूरिज्म अपॉर्चुनिटी, कल्चरल, टेक्नोलॉजी एक्सचेंज, स्किल एक्सचेंज, इनोवेशन आइडियाज एक्सचेंज, एग्रीकल्चर knowledge exchange. This type of opportunity helpful to us between collaboration between both country to country and youth also. इस टाइप की अपॉर्चुनिटी हम एनकेज करके दुनिया में युवाओं की भागीदारी को कैसे सुनिश्चित करें और वर्तमान समय में युवाओं की क्या डिमांड है, युवा क्या चाहता है और उसको सही गाइडेंस मिले, सही दिशा मिले, मैं मानता हूं कि बहुत आवश्यक होता है। मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल शेयर करना चाहूंगा। कई बार हम गोल तो सेट करते हैं, हमने तय करा कि मैं 2047 में जब देश आजादी का शताब्दी वर्ष मनाता हो तो हमें डेवलप्ड कंट्री बनना है, लेकिन एक गोल केवल तय करने से फायदा नहीं होगा, उसके लिए रोड मैप बनना चाहिए। तो रोड मैप हमें कैसे बनाना चाहिए? एक ग्लोबलाइजेशन का समय है, कंट्री टू कंट्री कनेक्ट है, यूथ टू यूथ कनेक्ट है। आज सोशल मीडिया, प्रिंट मीडिया, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया और एआई, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की एक बहुत बड़ी भूमिका है। ये सबको देखते हुए हमें गोल तय करना चाहिए और एक गोल को अचीव करने का प्रयास करना चाहिए। और इसलिए मोदी जी ने, मैं आपको दो विषय का एक कंपैरिजन करना चाहता हूं। अभी मोदी जी ने 2047 में विकसित भारत डेवलप्ड कंट्री का गोल रखा। बिफोर 25 years ago, ऑनरेबल राजीव गांधी वाज ए प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ इंडिया। उन्होंने उस वक्त 21st सेंचुरी की बात कही थी। इट्स वर्तमान समय में उसको एनालाइज करें तो इट्स वन टाइप ऑफ डेवलप्ड कंट्री। उन्होंने भी यही बात करी थी, लेकिन उन्होंने नारा दिया, बहुत भाषण भी दिया था, लेकिन हम उस दिशा में आगे नहीं बढ़ सके थे। क्यों? इसलिए नहीं आगे बढ़ सके थे कि केवल गोल तय करा। मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल के तौर पे समझाना चाहूंगा कि आप भुवनेश्वर आए हैं, आपको प्लेन से दिल्ली जाना है। प्लेन से दिल्ली जाना है तो पहले टिकट लेना पड़ेगा, टिकट लेने के बाद आपको टाइम पे एयरपोर्ट पर पहुंचना पड़ेगा, टाइम पर बोर्डिंग करना पड़ेगा और बाद में प्लेन उड़ेगा। अभी बोर्डिंग टाइम आप चूक गए और फिर एयरपोर्ट पर पहुंचे तो प्लेन तो चला जाएगा। 21st सेंचुरी तो आ गई, लेकिन हम एयरपोर्ट पर नहीं पहुंच पाए थे क्योंकि हमने पाथवे तय नहीं करा था। मोदी जी ने जब देश की आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव वर्ष 2023 में रेड फोर्ट से भाषण देते हुए कहा कि वी वांट टू डेवलप कंट्री, बट व्हाट इज अवर पाथवे? तो मोदी जी ने कहा कि हम 5 संकल्प करते हैं, 5 डिसीजन करते हैं, नॉट ओनली फॉर गवर्नमेंट, नॉट ओनली फॉर प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स डिसाइड, बट ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर इज अनाउंस दैट हम 5 संकल्प करके 1.4 बिलियन पॉपुलेशन एक साथ में आगे बढ़ेंगे। उन्होंने कहा, फर्स्ट बात कही कि हम डेवलप्ड कंट्री बनाएंगे। दूसरी बात कही, डेवलप्ड कंट्री बनना है, लेकिन हम सालों तक, कभी इंडिया पर हुणों ने शासन करा, कभी शकों ने शासन करा, कभी आक्रांताओं ने शासन करा, 240 साल तक अंग्रेजों ने शासन करा। तो ये इतनी बड़ी 2000 साल की हमारी परतंत्रता है। कई गुलामी के प्रतीक है हमारे देश में। एक गुलामी के प्रतीक को हम भुलाएंगे
और नया इतिहास बनाएंगे। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, last 15 years myself of member of parliament, but we are sitting in parliament house built by English government. But now and today we are sitting of new parliament built by Indian engineer, Indian architecture and Indian labor. Our president is sitting in Rashtrapati Bhavan and 26 जनवरी राजपथ पर परेड होती है जिसमें देश की ताकत को दिखाई जाती है, उसको राजपथ कहते हैं। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा कि इंडिया इज ए डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री। डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री में कोई राजा नहीं होता, तो राजपथ की आवश्यकता नहीं है। आवर प्रेसिडेंट सिटिंग एंड लेइंग इन राष्ट्रपति भवन मीन्स वहां वो अपनी ड्यूटी को अदा कर रहे हैं, अपना कर्तव्य का निर्वहन कर रहे हैं। दिस वे न्यू नेम्स इज कर्तव्य पथ। अभी वो राजपथ नहीं है, वो कर्तव्य पथ है। तो हम गुलामी के प्रतीकों को भुला देंगे। तीसरा संकल्प लेने के लिए मोदी जी ने कहा कि हम विरासत से प्रेरणा लेंगे। विरासत हमें दिशा भी देती है, हमें दर्शन भी देता है। क्यों यहाँ है? सम यंग लीडर्स से दैट माय फोरफादर, माय 5th जनरेशन, माय 4th जनरेशन अफ्रीका गए थे, फिलीपाइंस गए थे, सब लोगों ने बताया। लेकिन 4th, 5th सभी जनरेशन टू जनरेशन कहा कि आप ओरिजिन इंडियन है, आप ओरिजिन इंडियन है, आपके फोर फादर इंडिया में रहते थे, इसलिए इंडिया भी आपका देश है, उसके साथ भी आपका जुड़ाव होना चाहिए। तब जाके हमारी पांड्या जी बता रही थी कैसे वो ट्रैवल करके यहाँ आई, तो उसको किसने प्रेरणा दी? उसको इसने प्रेरणा दी कि ये मेरे फोर फादर के नेटिव है, हम इंडियन डायस्पोरा है, हमें इंडिया जाना है, उसको प्रेरणा मिली। हम विरासत से प्रेरणा लेके आगे बढ़ेंगे। ये देश में बहुत बड़ी विरासत है। आपको कभी यहाँ बैठे, उसके लिए भी, आपको भी कभी किसी को अवसर मिले तो एक बार गुजरात में इंडस सिविलाइजेशन का एक सारा नगर मिला है, टाउन मिला है, इट्स नेम इज धोलावीरा, इट्स ए हड़प्पन सिविलाइजेशन साइट। आप वहां जाके देखेंगे, देखो 5000 years ago we was civilized society। इस समय में वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग कैसे करा था आप देखें तो आपको आश्चर्य होगा। सिटी प्लानिंग, सारा नगर मिला हुआ है, सिटी प्लानिंग कैसा होता था। आज वहां के सिटी प्लानिंग देखो, ट्रामा वाटर देखो, आपको आश्चर्यचकित आप आश्चर्यचकित होंगे कि हम इतना सिविलाइज्ड थे इस जमाने में। और वहां टाउन है, धोलावीरा टाउन है, 5000 साल पुराना, मिला हुआ है, एक्वेशन से मिला। उसके बाउंड्री पर एक फोर्ट है। वर्तमान समय में हम कहते हैं कि लाइमस्टोन को 600 सेंटीग्रेड हीट ट्रीटमेंट करके थोड़ी सी फ्लाई शेड करे और उसको ग्राइंडिंग कर दे तो सीमेंट बन जाती है, और सीमेंट की आयुष्य 100 years होती है, वैसा हम कहते हैं। 5000 साल पहले ये फोर्ट की बाउंड्री पर मड से प्लास्टर करा है। नाउ एंड टुडे इट्स प्रेजेंट सेम साइज। आज वैसा ही वैसा 5000 साल पहले मड से प्लास्टर करा हुआ आप देख पाओगे। हम इतना साइंस ये देश में था। मोदी जी ने कहा कि हम, हमारी विरासत, ये हमारी विरासत है, वैल्यूज, कल्चर, ट्रेडिशन हमारी विरासत है, उससे प्रेरणा लेके हम डेवलप्ड कंट्री बनेंगे। फोर्थ, मोदी जी ने कहा कि 101.4 बिलियन पॉपुलेशन एक संकल्प के साथ, एक थॉट के साथ, एक आइडियाज के साथ आगे बढ़ेंगे। जब 1% स्टेप टू 1 सिंगल स्टेप, वी गो फ्रंट ऑफ सिंगल स्टेप ओनली, बट 1.4 बिलियन पॉपुलेशन स्टेप ऑल टुगेदर स्टेप टू गेन। हम एक स्टेप 140 करोड़ की जनता एक साथ में आगे बढ़ेंगे तो देश एक साथ में 140 करोड़ स्टेप आगे बढ़ सकता है। इसलिए हम एक संकल्प के साथ आगे बढ़ेंगे और फिफ्थ हम डेवलप कंट्री बनाएंगे। बट व्हाट इज आवर पाथवे? फिफ्थ पाथवे ही तो उन्होंने कहा। पांचवा हमारा संकल्प है देश के हर सिटीजन 1.4 बिलियन पॉपुलेशंस नेशन के प्रति अपना कर्तव्य का निर्वहन करेंगे। फॉलो टुवर्ड ड्यूटी फॉर नेशन। मैं मेरे देश के प्रति मेरी ड्यूटी, मेरा कर्तव्य मैं अदा करूंगा। जब हर व्यक्ति नेशन फर्स्ट की धारणा से आगे बढ़ता है तब जाके देश डेवलप्ड कंट्री बन सकता है। जब ड्यूरिंग कोविड क्राइसिस वी आर ऑल वॉज इन अवर हाउस इन लॉकडाउन, अंडर ऑफ लॉकडाउन में हम हमारे घर में थे, लेकिन गवर्नमेंट and myself also, all members of all ministers, we don't sitting in our house, but we are working to 25-year developed country agenda. विकसित भारत के 25 साल के क्या एजेंडा हो सकता है, उसके पर वर्क चल रहा था, वर्क कर रहे थे। और इसलिए ये देश का भविष्य बहुत उज्जवल है। वर्तमान समय के युवा आपके नजर का, आपके विचार का विकसित भारत बनाने के लिए मेरे सभी डायस्पोरा का कंट्रीब्यूशन थॉट बहुत आवश्यक है। मुझे आज बहुत अच्छा लगा। पैनल डिस्कशन में कई ऐसे वर्ड्स का यूज करते थे जो हमारे ट्रेडिशनल वर्ड्स थे, हमारे ट्रेडिशनल थॉट से निकलता है। दुनिया में कहां भी गए हैं, लेकिन आप अपनी वैल्यूज, अपने एथोस, अपने थॉट इंडियन ही रखा है। इसलिए मैं आपको अभिनंदन करता हूं। और सभी 6 मेरे यंग लीडर्स 12 जनवरी को ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर 30 लाख में से कंपटीशन से निकले हुए 3000 यूथ के साथ सारे दिन डेवलप्ड कंट्री के लिए यूथ के आइडियाज को सुनेंगे। मैं आपको रिक्वेस्ट करता हूं, जो आपको सुविधा हो तो आप भी एक बार मेरे देश के यूथ क्या सोचता है, सारे देश के यूथ का अर्थ क्या निकलता है विकसित भारत के लिए, उसमें पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहे तो मैं आपको इनविटेशन देता हूं। मैं अरेंजमेंट और व्यवस्था भी उसके लिए करता हूं। तो आप आइए और मोदी जी के साथ अपने आइडिया को भी शेयर करिए। धन्यवाद। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for your energizing and inspiring concluding remarks. As I conclude this enlightening discussion, one word stands out for me, which is connectivity. I think connecting people to people, connecting capital to ideas, connecting and collaborating on education, connecting on agriculture, I think that stood out as a theme of our discussion. Okay. Yeah. On behalf of everyone here, I extend my heartfelt thanks to all our panelists and their insights, and to the audience for their engagement. Let us carry forward the ideas shared today as we work together to build a brighter, more united future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Benny Bansal. May I request the people in the audience to please remain with us for some more time, please. It's a humble request. माननीय मंत्री जी, आपकी इजाजत हो, एक छोटा सा निवेदन। हमारे सर, आपने अभी इथोस और वैल्यूज की बात की। हमारे सभी पैनलिस्ट अगर हिंदी में या अपनी मदर टंग में 2 पंक्तियां ऑडियंस के सामने कहना चाहे, प्लीज। कैन वी हैव द माइक प्लीज? जस्ट गिव मी अ मिनट मैम। कैन वी हैव द माइक प्लीज? यू कैन कम हियर एंड से, सर ने अभी वैल्यूज की बात की तो आप कुछ भी, या यू कैन प्लीज आप अपनी मदर टंग में हिंदी में कुछ भी 2 लाइन बोलना चाहे अगर, प्लीज, ऑन दिस ओकेजन to the audience. Yeah, definitely in the presence of honorable ministers, sir. Just few lines in Hindi or maybe your mother tongue. Yeah, please.
speak two languages.
Please, please.
मैं दो भाषा में बात करूंगा. आपसे माफी मांगता हूँ, कुछ गलती है या कमी है मेरी भाषा में, लेकिन आप सबको इधर देख के बहुत खुशी है और आप सबको ओमान में बुलाता हूँ. നിങ്ങളെല്ലാവരും ഇവിടെ കണ്ടിട്ട് വളരെ സന്തോഷം. എല്ലാവർക്കും ഒമാനിലേക്ക് അന്വേഷിക്കണം. നല്ല സന്തോഷത്തില് നല്ല ഗൗരവത്തിലാണ് നമ്മളെല്ലാവരും ഇന്ന് നിൽക്കുന്നത്. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Mr. Ali. Thank you so much. So, can we ask Mr. Gill to say just few lines in maybe in Hindi or your own mother tongue, please?
Right here? Okay, yeah. Thank you. मैं बहुत बहुत शुक्र करता हूँ कि ये मौका बहुत अच्छा मिला और ये बहुत बड़ा प्रिविलेज है मेरे लिए कि मैं फुलक्रुम बना ये दो देशों का और to be able to enhance जरा संबंध है फिलीपींस और इंडिया का. So मैं बहुत बहुत शुक्र करता हूँ ये मौका के लिए और धन्यवाद.
Thank you, Mr. Gill. Can I request Mr. Prabhakar, please?
I'll speak in my mother language, Tamil. எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். இந்த வாய்ப்பு எனக்கு கிடைச்சது ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. அதற்காக இந்தியாவின் கவர்மெண்ட்டுக்கு ரொம்ப நான் நன்றியை சொல்லிக்கிறேன். அது மட்டும் இல்ல, எனக்கு இந்த வாய்ப்பு கொடுத்த இந்தியா கவர்மெண்ட்டுக்கும் மலேசியா அரசாங்கத்துக்கும் ரொம்ப நன்றி. அவ்வளவுதான், சந்தோஷம், நன்றி.
Thank you. Mr. Shani Chandelier-ji, if you could please say a few words, maybe in Hindi or in your own mother tongue, please.
जी, just for context, I can't speak Hindi because I grew up in Gurgaon, so मैं सभी के लिए यही बोलना चाहती हूँ कि अपने देश के लिए जो आप कर सकते हो अपने लेवल पे आप करने की कोशिश कीजिए, and I think that will lead और वो बहुत दूर तक जाएगा. And my mother tongue is Assamese, so I would like to just say one sentence in the Assamese. অসমীয়া ৰাইজক এইটোৱে ক'ব খুজিছোঁ কি অসমৰ কাৰণে আৰু ইণ্ডিয়াৰ কাৰণে আপুনি কাম কৰি থাকক আৰু আমাৰ কালচাৰটো আমি জীয়াই ৰাখিব লাগিব.
Thank you, Ms. Chandelier. May I request Ms. Revati Pillai-ji to say a few words, please?
So I understand Hindi but cannot speak it, but the Tamil Tamil da, the mother tongue. So I'll speak in Tamil. So எல்லாரும் வணக்கம். And இந்த வாய்ப்பு கொடுத்து என்னோட Consulate General of India, South Africa ரொம்ப நன்றி சொல்லணும். And என் கல்ச்சர் சொல்லுவா மாதா பிதா குரு தெய்வம். அதுக்காக நான் என்னோட அம்மா அப்பா மிஸ்டர் ஜீவா அண்ட் மிஸ்ஸஸ் ஜீவா பிள்ளை கண்டிப்பா நன்றி சொல்லணும். நான் உங்க பொண்ணு நினைக்கும் போது ரொம்ப பெருமைப்படுறேன். and I hope I made you proud. So அது ரொம்ப நன்றி and கண்டிப்பா கடவுளுக்கு நன்றி சொல்லணும்.
Thank you, Ms. Revati Pillai-ji. And now finally may I request Ms. Mikela Pandey-ji to say a few words.
I just want to thank you, Minister, and your government. Thank you, moderator, first. You did such a wonderful job. But Minister, thank you and your government for this wonderful opportunity for us all the way on the other side of the world to be able to come here to India. It is my first time here. It's been a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. And I hope many more of us in Trinidad and Tobago will be able to visit. I have to thank the Embassy of Trinidad and Tobago, and Excellency is just wonderful, and I thank him for that opportunity. It was many flights to come, but I got here, and I thank you so much again.
Thank you, Ms. Pandya. और माननीय मंत्री जी, यहाँ पर NSS रीजनल डायरेक्टर भुवनेश्वर मिस सईदा पटेल जी जो है वो NSS के बिहाफ, उनके वॉलंटियर्स के बिहाफ पे आपको कुछ प्रेजेंट करना चाह रहे हैं. It's a surprise actually. It's an oil painting of Honorable Minister Sir. जो सर ये NSS के वॉलंटियर्स ने बनाया है आपके लिए. जोरदार ताली एक बार माननीय मंत्री जी के लिए. NSS volunteers of Bhubaneswar, they have made this oil painting portrait of Sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Honorable Minister, sir. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, we wrap up, we conclude this plenary session. Beyond borders, diaspora youth leadership in a globalized world. We would also like to thank our panelists, and we extend a heartfelt thanks to our moderator, co-founder Flipkart, Mr. Benny Bansalji, And we thank all of you, audience. We had very many eminent personalities amongst our audience. We thank you all for participating in this plenary session. Please do join us for lunch, which has been organized by Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. And post-lunch, ladies and gentlemen, we have many more presentations and sessions lined up. So after lunch, we'll have session by Government of Odisha, unraveling India's best kept secret. So I'm requesting you all once again to kindly join for the lunch. Thank you for now.